So we're in my truck right now, trying out a new recording device, doing the Mag Room live. Well, not live, it's going to be recorded, whatever. But from Orlando, Florida, home of Jarrod's sister.
Yeah, and we'll get, if this works, we'll get jobs as truckers, go across the country and record.
Do you have the directions?
No.
Okay.
Drive, I don't know the number once we get there, in Orlando.
1.
Proceed to Mullet Road, then turn right.
Mullet Road? That's incredible.
All around the world you can hear them. Hey, hey, hey. Talking about using kind of funny stuff. Hey, hey, hey. Mag-room, mag-room, the mag-room, the mag-room.
Turn left onto Flounder Street, then turn right.
They name all those
Flounder and Mullet?
Yeah.
Is this named after the Animal House characters? You sent me the video of the one where they talked like it said an Asian woman or Chinese woman.
Yeah.
But it was basically like if you were making fun of a Chinese woman's bad English.
She talked like this.
Yeah.
I don't know when the accident happened, but
like a Chinese woman would actually speak in Chinese. So the woman didn't know Chinese. She just had an accent that was like mocking Chinese women.
Bad 80s Chinese accent.
Because the other ones make more sense. Like if you have an Irish people speak the same words as the American person, so it makes sense. Be like if you got an Irish accent but you still spoke Chinese.
Yeah, how do you do that?
I don't know. It must be true though, right? You must have an accent when you speak. Like if you speak Spanish, they must think you talk weird or different.
I don't know. I can't. I'm trying to wrap my head around doing a Chinese-Irish accent.
I don't think you...
Oh, I've been working on accents this week.
Really?
Let's see. Who did I do? Okay. I can do the father from Punky Brewster.
Interesting.
Oh, Punky.
Oh, I know that guy.
Yeah, he was the guy, and he was also in Police Academy.
You can say?
Oh, Punky. Well, that's the only thing I've been working on, yeah.
So one specific...
I could do this woman that I used to work with. Her name was Liping, and she sat around the corner from me when I worked at Legg Mason Investments, and she used to call me in the morning, and she'd go, "Hiya, Mark, it's a Liping. How you are doing?" "Good." Nail that accent.
Why did she call you?
Sounds exact to check on the TPS reports or whatever.
I also found out, so I went to lunch with my aunt, my dad, my grandfather, my brother. That was the lunch. And my aunt is our only Instagram follower, pretty much, who does that stuff. Yeah. And she said, "Oh, I saw your picture today that you put up. I love Babar books." And then my dad was like, "Oh yeah, Babar, that's awesome." And I said, "What is going on right now?" So it sounded like they said Babar. But then you remembered in Fletch, they say Babar.
That's the only reason I thought.
Yeah.
I guess that's why I thought it was right.
And then my sister said it's Babar. And Paul texted us and said his wife told him he'd been saying it wrong as Babar. And Paul threw Donna on my aunt under the bus.
So there's no consensus yet.
No.
You were right or wrong. All right.
I mean, I felt really adamant about it, and now I'm felt like I was wrong, and I was going to have to issue an apology, and now I feel like I'm sort of swung back to maybe being correct.
What do you think is the right way to figure out I bet the author of those books is dead by now, right?
Yeah. I don't know. I have no idea.
How to find that out.
Like, I feel like I have to read up, maybe in Wikipedia.
I wonder if it's like, it's one of those words that doesn't have a consensus.
It's not a far cry for us to shoot like a 4-episode podcast that we investigate the pronunciation of
something really stupid.
Of Babar. We go to the publisher, we try to meet with them, we interview some world-renowned Babar expert. Wouldn't it be? And then in finale, we figure out that it's neither.
Yeah.
It's something that's neither. All right, this is from VK Asia, and the title of the article is, want to be lord of a Japanese castle?
Yes.
You can for $8,400 a night. So there's a castle in Japan where you pay $8,400 a night. You get greeted by the blaring of a Triton shell horn and the beating of drums. A squad of armor-clad samurai salute you and your party with gunfire, treating them like lords of the castle. This person said, it was overwhelming, tears welling in his eyes, recalling a scene like something out of a samurai movie.
It made him cry?
Yeah. 11 groups have booked already.
I don't get why you would cry if you had to pay. If somebody did that for you out of respect, that might make me cry. But if I just gave you $8,400, I don't think I'd be moved to tears by the horns being blown.
Well, maybe that was your dream, or your parents were slaughtered by samurais, and you go there and have a horrific flashback of their death.
So that's what you're crying about. Okay, I can see that.
But it made me wonder, like, that sounds pretty cool, but $8,000 is a lot. Like, where would you want to go?
I actually thought if you were, I would guess it's more than that.
Because there's one in Disney where you stay in a Star Wars
I've seen
theme
that.
thing.
I've seen the pictures of that.
My sister said it's like $7,000 for like 3 nights.
Yeah.
What would you? Is there any movie you'd want to be in?
Yeah.
Raiders of the Lost Ark. You want to be Harrison Ford?
I would do that before I would do Star Wars.
Born Identity.
What's my? I like good. I love mafia movies.
Oh, so you're in like a mob where you get to like beat the shit out of a person?
Yeah, I can dig ditches and throw dead bodies in the desert. Yeah, that'd be a cool vacation. Me and the kids digging ditches.
In 2 miles, keep left onto State Road 528 West.
They have a mobster theme hotel.
Burying guys from the gaming commission out in the desert.
Jimmy's life was kind of adrift until he beat that man to death at the Goodfellas Hotel.
Yeah.
As far back as I can remember, I always wanted to be a gangster.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it seems like a lot. I'm not looking for a lot in my hotel.
No, it's just a place to lay your head. It's silly to, I don't know.
I mean, I don't want like bugs in it. I want the shower to be warm.
Yeah.
The bed to seem clean. That's it. Well, I don't know. You won't know.
Yeah, I never are.
All right. So no castle for you?
No.
Use the left 2 lanes to keep left onto State Road 528.
Everybody and just about everything pees. Some things, it turns out,
Turn left onto Street, then turn left onto Street.
just do it by flicking liquid away from their backsides at extremely high speeds using an anal stylus.
An anal stylus? Oh.
I'm going to drive around for a few minutes.
Is there a parking lot we could go to? Is an anal stylus one of the accessories to a, what were those things called? The palm pads? Palm Pilot?
Yes, yeah, that was an anal stylus. What would the anal stylus do?
Assuming you shove it up your ass and right on the Palm Pilot with it, right?
Okay.
Like,
Do you need like a special stance?
Yeah, well, they sell this anal stylus comes with a chair that's got a hole in the bottom of the chair,
Okay.
and you sit on that, put the anal stylus through there, and then there's a stand, and you can write with your ass your appointments. It's for people that were like thalidomide babies that were born without hands, or they're all born with an. So
You went dark there.
anal stylus works for pretty much anybody, because like you just said, everybody pees, everybody also poops, so therefore you have an anus, and therefore you can use.
Because they couldn't do like a pee stylus because it's like vagina and penis.
Yeah, nobody wants. Yeah, that's just gross.
You wouldn't share anal styluses, I don't think.
Prison. They used to use. I think in prison you share anal stylus.
Taking a lot of appointments in prison.
Where were we?
We were talking about anal styluses.
Oh, right. How could I forget that? My anal stylus would be very small. I wonder how long it would have to be. And you'd have
Pretty
to get
long.
You'd have to get pretty good at. I mean, because you're at this point you're writing more with your like hips.
Yeah, but I feel like that's the tech where the technology comes.
If you're good, it like knows how to correct and things.
Yeah.
Okay. I would bet
You can't see the screen at all.
if you're good with an anal stylus, I bet you're a good dancer too. I bet there's a crossover.
How do
there.
they advertise the anal stylus?
On porn sites mostly.
I see. I just didn't understand. So it says this thing flicks its pee while it pisses. And it can accelerate the liquid more than 10 times the rate of the fastest supercars. What the hell is this? First of all, what is this supercar?
I know people that have driven cars over 300 miles an hour, so I guess it's got to be at least more than that.
So it says 10 times that.
3,000 miles an hour?
But why?
Maybe if you have to, like,
is it like really cool?
Cut through a chain link fence with your pee?
What if you could pee and you had this thing that flicked it at 3,000 miles an hour? That'd be pretty sweet, I guess.
Yeah.
It would make it different. Like if you were somebody was going to fight you and you'd be like, wait a second, you just
pee on him.
You pee and then you flick it at him at 3,000 miles.
That would hurt.
Take you a little while. You'd always have to pee.
Yeah.
You're like, are you ready to fight? Yeah, I just drank some water. Ready to go.
What's the animal
Flicks
called?
away from their backsides at an extremely high speed.
What's it called?
Using an anal stylus. In the article, it says the title says this insect pees at high speed using a butt flicker.
Yeah, it's like an anal stylus.
That's the scientific name, a butt flicker.
Yeah.
This glassy winged sharpshooter.
Huh.
It's butt. Like, yeah, so this is where you feel like it's not a real article. Studying the bug with high-speed video and microscopes revealed the sharpshooter does possess a particular part that enables its impressive pee performance. An anal stylus that Mia, which is a assistant chemical and biomolecular engineering professor, dubbed its butt flicker. Don't you think it would have a better, like if it was an actual scientist, that it would have a different...
It'd be a Latin word for it?
Yeah.
We've devolved as a society.
It says it allows them to process plant sap.
I would think it was just a defense mechanism, but I guess I'm wrong.
And they said, but they're going to use it to develop new systems to eject water from wearable electronics. How's that a good idea?
It's a fun story. I like animal stories.
Yeah, that's all I got. I only had till Wednesday to come up with them, so.
Do I have anything else? I wrote just Peewee Herman on here for some reason. I don't know what that means.
I always wondered how he became a thing.
You know, he was like, before he was a kids show host, he was like that Peewee Herman character was kind of like a pervert character. That being a pervert in real life. But he was known for putting mirrors on his shoes to look up girls' skirts, things like that.
Like, when did he do that?
So that show was probably, 86 or 7 or something like that?
I'd say, yeah.
And I think it was, like, just a little earlier in the 80s. He had, I don't know how...
Like, what do you do, though? Like, I couldn't just throw mirrors on my shoes and start looking up women's skirts and say it's my act, right?
Yeah.
And people would pay money to see me do that?
I mean, now that you're married with 3 kids, it might be a little tasteless for that to be your shtick, but...
Yeah, it just was. I remember.
I can do a Peewee Herman impersonation.
Yes. He's 70 years old.
I'm 70. I can't. I can only go 70.
The show was called The Peewee Herman Show and ran for 5 sold-out months. And then HBO had a special about it. And then they made that movie.
That is a weird character that got big, huh? Like Napoleon Dynamite. That's another one that's kind of like, I wonder why that guy got so popular.
The Groundlings.
It's not like you can really identify with him.
Like, if we started to do that, if I was like, hey, Mark, I'm dressing like this weird guy and talking weird, and I really think it's going to take off, you'd be like, I don't know if that's...
Give me more of a description of what your character's going to be. What makes you
They're
weird?
like the exact same thing.
No, come on, come up with your own hook. Like you, all right, so we won't make you a pervert. How about we make you...
He didn't always think of his character as one for children.
Right.
And then he developed it for children.
Creepy dude that somehow crossed into children's television.
Now he had a 1991 arrest. I remember that.
Yeah, in a movie theater.
And then he
right?
had a 2002 pornography arrest.
What was the first one?
Probably had 70,000 items of porn memorabilia.
Oh.
They raided his house.
Oh, was it underage stuff?
I don't know. It's a collector of erotica.
You're not allowed to correct that. I've got probably 70,000 pieces of erotica in my house.
Really?
Yeah. All my anal styluses, my...
I don't know. I don't know enough about him. Said he did the Peewee Herman show again. 2009.
I kind of remember that happening, but I didn't see it.
Oh boy. The show relocated to New York for a limited run, selling over $3 million in advance tickets.
Really? And that's the 2009 one?
Yeah.
I wouldn't think that character would, like, hold up over time.
No, but somebody wanted to see it.
Like the same reason that you can go still see, like, the Backstreet Boys at the concert.
He said he has some new scripts for Pee-wee. He approached Johnny Depp to play Peewee Herman.
Really?
Yep.
That's fun.
Pee-wee's Big Holiday. Oh, it got released. Have you ever seen Pee-wee's Big Holiday?
I have not.
It stars Paul Rubens. It's from 2016. It's a sequel to Big Top Pee-wee.
So he was 65 years old when he made it?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
It's on Netflix.
I meant to do that.
So I don't have Hulu. There's this movie on Hulu that I saw an ad for. I think it came out maybe last year or 2 years ago. It's called Kid 90.
Okay.
You hear of it by any chance?
No, I have Hulu though.
So, oh really?
Yeah.
Then you have to watch this and tell me about it. It's
Sisk's
called
Movies?
Yes. Sisk's Movies. Kid 90 is going to be your premiere.
Okay, we'll see if I can remember.
So it's all found footage. The girl who played Punky Brewster.
Oh, you're in a Punky Brewster deep dive.
Yeah, I pay attention to the show. I try to track.
If there was a Punky Brewster comeback in New York, would you buy a ticket? Won $3 million.
Soleil Moonfry made a documentary a couple years ago. During the 80s when Punky Brewster was on the air, and she was friends with all the guys from Saved by the Bell, and Mark Wahlberg is in it.
Oh, so it's a documentary of them?
From the night, it's all footage of them in the 90s
Okay.
and 80s, and it just talks about being a teen idol when we were kids. And I just kind of I think it'd be kind of funny to watch that. The guy, Zach from Saved by the Bell, is on it. There was like 6 people that you grew up watching.
Wow. Hulu for 1 month is like $6.
Can I sign up for just 1 month?
Yeah, and then you just cancel it. There was another really great stand-up special about this guy who's like a mind reader, and it was his show.
Okay.
I forget the name of it, but I'll look it up. It was really good. Michelle and that was also on Hulu.
Really good because he was good at mind reading?
It was just it was like his story. I always like the ones that are like, you ever watch Mike Birbiglia? He weaves in his story with the jokes.
Yeah, I like him.
It was like that, but this guy as like a mind reader, someone who could do like a magician mind reader.
Okay.
But he did like a stage show.
Okay.
And it was just like, it's always fascinating to me how these guys pull this, because I assume the people in the audience are not in on it.
Yeah.
Just how they pull it off.
I bet there are people in the audience that are in on it.
Really?
That's got to be part of it. I once went to a bar, and I sat down. This was like 20 years ago. I sat down next to a guy at a bar, and he was an older man, and I started talking to him, and he told me he's a magician. That's how he makes his living. And I was like, hey, show me a magic... All right, well, then show me a magic trick. No, I don't want to. And I'm like, all right. Stop talking, and finally, eventually, he was like, all right, you want to see a magic trick?
And then he pulled down his pants.
He punched me in the face. I woke up in a different state. No, he gave me, I forget what, it was something, I think he took a dollar bill from me, he ripped a corner off of it, and he folded it up and did all this stuff with it, and then he handed me back the dollar bill, and I had the corner ripped off, and he said, now go look behind that painting over there. And I got up and walked over, took a painting off of the wall of the place that I was in, pulled the thing off, and the corner of my dollar bill was on the back of the painting.
Yeah, so how does he do that?
I have no idea.
That's what I mean.
Totally blew my mind.
So you're not in the...
No, I'm just saying there are somebody had to be in on it.
How though?
I don't know.
Like you didn't even know, he wasn't doing a show there.
I don't believe that he's truly magic.
So he's like, he has a magic trick set up.
Somehow.
For when some douchebag sits next to him and asks him.
Yeah, somehow he didn't magically rip my thing off. And
when he said no, did he ever leave while you were next to him?
He said, look, I don't want to do a magic trick. I'm just going to go outside and smoke a cigarette. I need to buy a couple of loose cigarettes. Do you have $1 I could borrow?
He's really bad at saying
and then he sprinkled something in my drink.
Yeah, you passed
This is all
out
coming back to me now.
just to set up the joke.
Huh.
We had a guy come to Hotchkiss, and he did it. And Brennan even went on stage. He wanted a little kid to volunteer. Brennan went on stage. He did this trick where like Brennan ripped out this thing out of his hand. It was like totally not what he put in his hand. I was like, Brennan, what? He's like, it wasn't in my hand.
Sleight of hand. When you watch people that are good at sleight of hand, it really is cool.
But that is amazing to me. You know, I know, like it's not. I know it's not magic. Like they're making stuff disappear.
No, it is.
But it's
still entertaining. Yeah.
Magic.
It's
even better if you think. Like, you know they did it somehow and you can't figure it out.
Well, that's where I'm at. I know, obviously it's not magic, but how the f*** did you get it behind a painting? Yeah, I must have gone to the bathroom or something. I don't know. I have no idea what happened, but...
And he bought a painting to hang on the wall.
Yeah, maybe because he was there before I got there.
He brings the painting with him everywhere?
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, I forget. I can look it up. What the heck is it called? It was really good. Derek Del Guadio, In and Out of Itself.
I'll check it out.
It's good. It was really good. Like I said, I love the ones where they weave in the stuff, and he was weaving in.
Do you
his
like
story.
hypnotists?
I've never gone up, but I don't really get it. I feel like people are just having fun, but maybe not. I feel like I would be one of the people they'd be like, nope, you gotta go.
That's how I don't.
But I've never done it. Maybe I wouldn't be.
Yeah, but I bet if you think that you wouldn't, I bet you would.
Yeah. I don't know the answer, but the magic, it's just like fascinating. I just watch it. I'm like, they have to be so, like, if they f*** it up, it looks terrible.
Yeah.
So they have to be perfect.
How about Amazing Jonathan? Have you ever seen The Amazing Jonathan?
I've heard of him. I've heard of him.
Because he's funny, he's sarcastic, I think
I think my parents went to see him. Has he been around a long time?
I knew about him in the 80s.
Yeah, I remember them mentioning him. I'd like to go. They don't have, those are the kind of things.
He's like an adult magician.
They don't come around us.
Yeah.
Comedians do, but not those kind of shows.
How far are you from New York? I'm sure
an hour and a half.
Yeah.
But it's the like getting in there now.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Anything else? I know Peewee Herman. I don't know where that was from.
Oh, here, let's see. What else did I write down? I want to see Kid 90, but I don't have Hulu. Hit that.
Click.
Here are the impersonations so the first one is Mrs. Hendricks. She's a customer of mine. She calls me and she goes, "Has the mail run yet today?"
So you're saying you're going to learn impersonations of people no one knows.
Well, it's just maybe I'll make them a character.
I see.
Has the mail run yet today?
Hey, Mrs. Hendricks, how you like? They'll.
Oh, hiya, Jarrod. It's a Leping. How you doing today?
You play different people all in the same.
I did.
Leping and Mrs. Hendricks, you're here at the same time.
Oh, the only other one I have is, "This is NPR News. I'm Dave Mattingly."
I love Dave Mattingly.
Did I sound like him?
A little bit. And it's in the morning. He always wakes me up in the morning.
Clark's World Magazine.
And I always think, is he related to Don Mattingly?
I was thinking I should learn Dave Mattingly and Don Mattingly, but I didn't.
And you could do a bit where Don and Dave talk to each other. Don, I know you were a baseball player.
This is NPR News. I'm Dave Mattingly.
Hey, I'm Don Mattingly, Yankees baseball player.
Are we related?
I don't know. Maybe you should do a report about it, Dave. All right, should we wrap it up? Go to my sister's house?
Yeah. This episode was brought to you by the Zoom H4n Pro handy recorder.
Produced by Paul Rubens. Email. No one emailed lately.
No.
Muga and Cisco at gmail.com. Larry Hankin emailed us.
That's right.
Glad I just set out a book.
Yeah,
Said he wanted to come on.
Mr. Heckles, the upstairs neighbor from Friends, who we had on 30 episodes ago.
Said he wants to come back. Should we have him back?
Nobody else wants to be on, I guess.
Yeah, we asked if he had any friends last time.
Who did I just emailed somebody the other day.
Tim Tuffle.
No, somebody more known. Oh, Dave Grohl. I emailed Dave Grohl.
Okay. It's going to be a ploy to get if you get him.
Nah, it doesn't seem like it's happening.
I knew someone who knew Dave Grohl, but she didn't like me at the end of our relationship. It was the woman I worked with.
Okay.
She kind of like told me off in front of a student at one point, and I got all pissed at her, and then we just stopped talking to each other.
Nice. Let's have her on.
Yeah, that would be fun for you.
Yeah.
The head of school was giving a speech.
Okay.
And the girl had her cell phone out. So I went over and I was like, give me your cell phone. And then afterwards, I said to her, I'm like, this is so rude to do. And I was sort of yelling at her. So rude to do. They're doing a dedication. You just pay attention. And she comes over while I'm doing that. She's like, why do you have to be so mean to the students or something, like in front of the student?
Wow.
And I was just like, are you serious right now? I said to her, if you want to talk about this, that's fine, but don't do it in front of the students.
Yeah.
And then we probably never talked again after that.
So you think she'll help you get Dave Grohl on the show?
50-50. 50-50.
I say you reach out. Come on, I just tried to get my high school enemy on the show.
I did. I emailed him. And he didn't
I did
send
too,
it
though,
back.
didn't I?
No, you just told me to do it.
Yeah.
Does Miss Hendrickson know where Greg Radin is? Do you know where Greg Radin is, Mrs. Hendrickson?
Has Greg Radin run yet to die?
You can't do the same
I can only do those words.
Because I can't just like bring it up. Like if we're talking
How
about,
about you do, Miss
a day
Hendrickson?
in an accident or something, and you're like, and I'm just like, wait, what does Miss Hendrickson think about? Like that could be a bit. You'd be like, I don't know,
What's the day
Jared, if I got
today?
in an
All right, I
accident
think I can
today, I don't know what I would do.
I gotta write something with my anal stylus
See,
today.
that sounds great.
Okay. All right.
So next episode,
Yeah.
Mrs. Hendrickson's gonna be on,
This is
and,
NPR News, and I've got an anal stylus.
and Dave Mattingly. Do you want to end this podcast today, Mark?
Oh, Jarrod.
Oh, that's not good. I didn't do good with Mark. I said Mark.
This is the Mag Room. I'm Dave Mattingly.
Mark, stick with the mag room. And everything else is
Ew,
cream
hunty.
cheese.
Ooh, ooh, I like my groom. I like my groom. Ooh, ooh, my groom is good. My groom is good. Ooh, ooh, I like my groom. I like my groom. Ooh, ooh, my groom is good. My groom is good. The my groom's good. Ooh, ooh, I like my groom. I like my groom. Ooh, ooh, my groom is good. My groom is good.
I'm dressing like this weird guy and talking weird.